falling down syndrome. She always wear high heels with killer boots or killer boots with high heels, and she also have a knack of falling down. She is also a very good speaker, and recently she gave a speech at the CA Institute where her speech among about 70 to 80 people was very well received. And she is a shopaholic by confession. So ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together for our first speaker for today, Ankita Agarwal.
Mr. Toastmaster, fellow members and guests. I was born on 10th of September 1987 at 7:25 a.m. My mom claims that as soon as I was born, there was a deafening noise in the operation theatre of nurses falling, of equipments falling down, of lights going out, etc. etc. Some people are born with money. Some are born with luck. I guess, was born with the falling down syndrome. When I was young, I had a standing arrangement with my parents. If I could spend one full day without falling down, they would buy me a Barbie doll. Because the thing was that I used to fall down quite often, and sometimes real hard. The first serious fall that I remember happened when I was 3 years old. We used to live on the first floor, and I was very pally with this one small boy who used to live in the fourth floor. Since I was 3, which according to me meant that I was a big girl, I was allowed to climb from the first floor to the fourth floor alone. On this fateful day, I was climbing up the stairs, and as usual, not surprisingly, I fell down. The angle of my fall was such that the bridge of my forehead here hit the edge of the stair. Now, since falling down was not such an uncommon occurrence in my life, I didn't pay much attention to it, and I continued my journey upstairs. Somewhere between the second and the third floor, I started feeling a little breezy around my eyes here. When I touched the surface, I realized that it was not smooth, and I had developed a kind of a hole at the edge of my nose. I was thinking whether this new nostril at the other end of my nose is a new development or I had it before the fall. But by the time I reached my friend's place, I was sure that this hole in which I could actually put my finger inside about an inch or two was not there before the fall. And I proudly showed it to my friend's mom. Everything after she screamed at the sight of me is a little blurred. But I do remember my mom almost fainting at the sight of my blood-covered face and dress, of course. Anyways, I did manage to have a normal, smooth life with only small falls until I was about 7 years old. It was a sticky, hot May afternoon, and my school was closed for the summers. And for some strange reason, I found it very entertaining to run on top of my bed around the perimeter, pretending that I was riding a horse. Now, my bed had this 1-inch thick wooden boundary all around it, and I think I was trying to balance myself on it when suddenly I lost my balance and 2 toes of my right feet got stuck in between the wooden boundary. Pissed at myself that I couldn't control or balance myself, I jerked my foot out of it and continued my running. About 5 months later, I started feeling dizzy. So I went to the kitchen to get a glass of water, and as I was pouring in the water, I saw a trail of red liquid on the floor. I assumed that it was tomato ketchup, and I dropped it when I had come to get my sandwich a little earlier. I didn't want to get scolded, so I proceeded to clean it with a rag. But then I noticed that the pool is getting bigger and bigger near my feet, and I realized that red liquid was not tomato ketchup, it was actually blood. What happened was, when I pulled my feet off the wooden boundary, the little toe on my right feet had come off the foot and it was actually dangling away, attached to the foot with a little piece of skin. I remember I was not given full anesthesia, just local anesthesia when the stitching was going on. And when I saw the doctor with a needle and a thread, I thought that he was using the same thread which we use to sew our clothes. And for a long period of time, I labored under the belief that if I pull it too hard, my toe is gonna come out again, and I'll have like the buttons of my shirt, and I'll have to go back to the doctor to get it stitched on. Anyways, after that I've had quite a number of falls, one being when I fell knee down on a floor full of broken glasses and managed to get rid of my entire skin, flesh and muscle of the left foot, so that we had a clear 3-inch diameter view of my kneecap. And the latest, when I was in Delhi last week and went ice skating with my friends, I managed to fall 9 times on hard ice. Fortunately, it did not result in disembodiment of any body parts. We all fall down in life sometimes, as I did literally. But we need to get back up and face the challenges. Because one fall is not gonna kill us. And what won't kill us will make us only a little more stronger. Mr. Dhruv.